Hi everyone, Stacy Whiter here on behalf of Campus Mortgage with part 2 of a 3-part video series on VA loans analyzing non-military income. Now just a quick reminder before we get started, this video is for informational purposes only and should not be considered legal advice or used in place of VA guidelines. Also, this video was issued on August 28th, 2018, and the information contained in this video is subject to change without notice. So as we talked about in part 1, whenever you have a borrower who is a veteran who wants to get qualified based on non-military income, the underwriter's objective is still the same: to make sure it's reliable and stable, that it's going to continue for the foreseeable future, and it's sufficient to cover the mortgage and other debts. So let's talk about when you have a situation where the veteran's non-military income has been coming in for less than 2 years. So in this scenario, when the borrower has been with their current employer for less than 2 years, the lender should verify prior employment plus present employment for the last 2 years. So maybe you have a situation where they were discharged from the Army, or they retired from the Army a year and a half ago, and then they went into their current job. So you would just need to verify the previous 2 years, including the military history. Also, provide a letter of explanation as to why 2 years cannot be verified. Well, a simple reason could be that they retired from the military and then they went on to the non-military job. Also, compare any different types of employment verification obtained. So make sure obviously all of the documents are making sense. So that you also need to get the verification of employment, the pay stub, and tax returns. So again, you're making sure everything makes sense. Also, it's important to clarify any substantial differences in the data that would have a bearing on the borrower's qualification. So an example may be maybe in the military, in their military job, they were they were working in a maybe a communications type position where they were handling computers, networking, and things like that. But maybe their non-military income, they're in a completely different field. Maybe they're in sales or just a completely different field. So that's really where you want to kind of compare the data and make sure everything is making sense. And again, going back to that, is it stable, reliable, and will it continue for this foreseeable future? Now, when it comes to employment verification services, so for non-military income, lenders may use the supplied, a VOE supplied by an employment verification and service. So this is obviously very common. Most lenders do this now. They use the work number. So the VA has approved the work number as a VOE source where they can get that automated verification of employment, but it cannot be used by a source that the VA has not approved. So be very careful of that. If you use a service other than the work number, you need to make sure that it's approved by the VA. Another service that is approved by the VA is the Department of Defense civilian employee. So if you have a situation where you had a military employee who is now a non-military employee, but they work for the Department of Defense and they're considered a civilian, they can provide their computer-generated pay stubs access through what's called MyPay. So that is certainly approved by the VA. All right, so that's employers, someone who's employed for less than 2 years. In the next video, we're going to take a look at someone who's employed for less than 12 months and a few other things, so make sure you check that out. Thanks so much for watching. For more tips and videos, please visit campusmortgage.org to look for their weekly mortgage video tips designed for all mortgage professionals, including underwriters, loan officers, processors, closers, and post-closers. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.